All right, guys, the internet is abuzz with the conversations and talk about the MPC Key 37. Your favorite YouTuber has already covered it, and they already probably have one in their possession. And I wanted to talk about it in a little bit of a context of a view because we already know that it's basically a long story short, MPC 1 with a key bed added to it. It's red. It looks fun. You know, it kind of wins me over when I see it in video because we saw the Instagram announcement of it and you see it in everyone else's video. I've watched them too. And I like the shape and size of it. I like the form factor because it can fit pretty much anywhere you want to. If I were taking it to a song camp, and you've ever been to a song camp before, sometimes space is a little bit of a premium. Things may not be as convenient as your own personal space. So saving space and having more power in a smaller space is awesome. You already know what the IO is. You probably already heard the specs, but I want to talk about something different about why maybe we should not compare this and the 61 to Workstations. What's the difference? And I have to be honest. I wanted it to be, when I first heard about the MPC, when I first heard about the 61, I wanted it to be like a motif. I wanted it to be like the Chronuses, the montages, the Phantoms. I wanted it to be like that, so much so that I did a video recreating a classic Korg sound with the plucks and pizzicato strings mixed together as a combination patch on there. That's a tangent I'm not going to get into. So MPC keyboards, as much as I want to believe that they're not the same thing. And I want to highlight why they're more or less an apple and an orange. Why are they so different? And the main reason why this is different is because the MPC Key 61, 37 are more or less samplers. We got plugins that load up these samples from stored media on there, but they don't contain any kind of ROM storage. In the same context of a montage or any of the workstations from the big three. We're just going to call them the big three. The Montage M has 10 gigabytes of ROM storage. I don't even remember what the acronym is, but I know it's not RAM, which is random access memory. The MPC Key 37 has 2 gigabytes of RAM, and the 61 and the MPC X SE has 4 gigabytes of RAM. This is stuff that is loaded up on call when you need it to. So when you turn that keyboard off, all that RAM is cleared. That's why it asks you to save first. And then if you turn off a montage, all that sample data that's in there that they sent in from the factory is there. So imagine a world where Fabric XL was stored on the ROM of your MPC and not in the RAM. So therefore, you wouldn't have these slow loading times. We all know that when we try to pull up a plugin on any of these MPC products, it takes a few moments to load up. And I've heard that it happens a little bit faster on the 4 gigabyte units. So it's a little bit slower. There's a lot of sample data there, but not that much. Because remember, we're dealing with 4 gigabyte RAM limits and 2 gigabyte RAM limits. So there's only so much we can load at the same time. When you install a plugin on this hardware, it's stored on your stored media on here. It's not stored in any kind of ROM access point. Somebody let me know what ROM means. But y'all understand that ROM is more permanent. It's non-volatile. This is like engineering electronics 101. ROM is non-volatile, but RAM is volatile. That's why you have to save before you close. That's why theoretically, if your FL Studio or MPC crashes while you're making a beat and you lose it because you didn't save it to non-volatile memory, which will be your hard drive, or in this case, ROM, but that kind of breaks the definition of it. And so when you're thinking about pulling up samples and loading up sounds, when you try to load up a preset like Fabric XL or the piano or the electric piano, which sounds good, they still have to be very conscious about the space. Even on the MPC Key 37, you have to be conscious about the space versus the montage. Even when you pull up a preset, and I don't know the full details of it, but I'm sure somebody in the comments can let me know. When you pull up a preset on a montage, like say the full grand, right, a standard, it's loaded, but it's pulled from ROM. And I don't believe that when you load presets on a montage, that it's going to take up any of the sampling RAM. I believe the montage has sampling RAM. I don't know all the specifications on my own. And so they differ in managing data. They differ in the process of how they get you the sounds that you're looking for. You know, so it's sort of like an apple and orange kind of thing. Like, again, I want it to be like a montage. I want it to be like a Phantom. I want the MPC keys, even the MPCs, to be like a Kronos in that context with sounds. But I know that where it is not as strong as dealing with stored samples, it inversely is actually better at dealing with samples, manipulating samples, and a sequencer. I will take the sequencer on the MPC, and I am saying this with a little bit of bias. I will take the sequencer for putting tracks together on hardware over any of those big three sequencers every day. The pads, the programming, the quantization, all of that stuff, I'll take that over those big threes any day. But if you're asking me about quality of sounds, speed of those sounds, accessing those sounds, the non-vitality of it, if you power it off, of course, the big three workstations trump the MPC Key 61. So it makes you think about, how would they do this better? How could they do these keyboards better in the future? How would Akai move forward with the 37 and 61? Because, you know, years are going to go by and there's probably going to be an upgrade. I don't know. Maybe they might change the software to use the RAM as sort of a form of non-volatile storage. No, that doesn't make sense, because then if it was that, it couldn't be RAM anymore. But if there's a way to store the preset data, the wavetable memory, the sounds, the visuals, onto non-volatile memory that are already at a beck and call, like the workstations, now you're doing a game changer. What they've done here with the MPC 37 is sort of re-quoted their last verse with the 61, but they just flipped the syllables a little bit and brought it down to 37 keys. Flipped the IO a little bit, gave you an SD card, which wasn't on the 61, and that doesn't make sense to me. And we have to understand that people have meetings about this in the offices about, well, if we add this, we got to take this out. This will cost this much. It's always a cost thing. There's a corporate thing going on that we don't know about. And decisions are made. Sometimes it don't make sense to us as the users of these products. But again, comparing any of these to workstations is like comparing an apple to an orange. You don't expect the apple to taste like an orange. You don't expect an orange to taste like an apple. Two different things. I'm excited to see it in action. It's a little bit redundant for me because I have a 61 and I have a Live that's ready to go out the door because I have a hard case for it. But if I were to choose between a Live 1, which is what I have, and a 37, I would prefer the 37 because I play. You know, I play chords. I actually play stuff in. I don't always click my chords in, which there's nothing wrong with that. I believe that it's good to have the ability to do both. Click your chords in or play them. I think all skills translate with each other to make you a better producer, in my opinion. But I'm not here to chastise you, critique you if you're not a very good piano player, or if you're not a good, that's not what this video is about. This video is about a conversation about new gear, which is something I like to talk about. And I think it's pretty fun. So I'd like to know what you guys think about the MPC Key 37, the 37. Let's just call it the 37. We know what we're talking about. The 37, the 61. What do you guys think about it? Do you want to get one? Do you like the color? I'm not a fan of the color. Do you think it should be retro? Where they're going with this. And I'm very curious about the price. I don't know the price. If you know the price, let me know in the comments below. I'm Dilio. You're watching Dilio T2K. Visit DilioT2K.com. If you like this content, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you soon because we got more stuff to talk about. Peace out.